Welcome to our practice, everybody. As you can see, for me, it's really a case of practicing together through rain or shine, because I have a little eye problem at the moment and it's very red and painful. But I know that practice is going to be great for me. So I'm just wearing some shades so that you don't have to be reminded of the issue with my eye as we practice. And I hope I don't look too strange for you, and that you will unroll your mat, gather your straps, your blocks, your blankets, everything that you like to use, and meet me here for this beautiful practice. We're going to be starting on our backs, and we will need as our first prop one strap with a little loop in it. So hit pause on me if you need to, and let's meet lying down on our backs and begin. So lying down, make sure that you spread the feet the width of the mat and turn the toes in and the heels out. And you'll feel that your knees naturally want to rest against each other, which is exactly what we want them to do. And then with your hands, feel your spine and make sure that your back body is completely supported by the ground. So you might be one of those people who has a tendency to arch the lower back a little bit, and if that's you, you want to press that area down and really feel the mat supporting the spine completely. And then roll our shoulders back without lifting the arch back up. Keep it grounded, the whole spine grounded, connected, but the front shoulders rolling back so the collarbones are long. And the beauty of starting lying down like this is that we get a really long, straight spine supported by the floor. So it opens in a new way, and you can feel the front body really getting new length, the lungs automatically opening, the heart opening. And so when we begin, closing our eyes, bringing our palms together with one Om, the sound of the Om will feel different. So you'll really feel the Ah in a new way. So, taking that position, closing the eyes, making sure that the sides of your neck are even. Remember, we're coming into all of the details that aren't just about posture, but are also about the mind turning inwards. So using the details to harness the mind in our practice. Begin to connect with a nice, smooth, rhythmic breath cycle. Long, smooth inhalations and exhalations. And then lifting the hands and pressing the palms together firmly. And opening our practice with one Om. Inhale. So the hands releasing and the eyelids opening. And let us begin. Taking our strap, bring the feet together so that now the inner feet are touching, and let's find a Supta Parangusthasana with the right leg, and Ardha Supta Parangusthasana because the left leg is still bent. And then sliding your hands down so the arms are straight and the backs of the hands are on the floor. Look at your right foot. And spread the toes, pull the toes down towards the face. Feel the back of the heel elongate, the back of the knee open. At the same time, push the ball of the foot up to the sky. So there's a pushing and a pulling action in the leg. Keep straightening the leg more and more. If you can bring it a little closer Go ahead and bring it a little closer. And then bringing the leg back up. And let's change sides. Supta Bhanushasana on the left hand side. The arms straight, the backs of the hands on the floor, the fingers spread. And then looking at your left foot and spreading the toes, pulling the toes down towards you and pushing the ball of the foot up to the sky. Straighten the knee completely. And look at your front left thigh. And as you try to straighten the leg even more, push the front of the thigh to the thigh bone. See how that helps the leg to straighten. Be with the fullness of your breath. And through the breath, observing the alignments, adjusting as needed. And then bring the leg back up to 90 degrees, it'll come closer towards you, so that it looks as if the leg is perpendicular to the floor. And lift your right foot up, and put the right foot into the loop as well, finding 90 degrees, Urdhva Prasarita Karasana. Both of the inner feet lined up, pull the toes back towards you, push the balls of the feet up, and push both of the quadriceps towards the thigh bone. So the curve of the quadricep is flattening towards the thigh bone, and feel a beautiful opening that we get at the back of the knees, the back of the calf. And then bending both of your knees, removing the loop, the strap from the feet. And now coming for a long vertical stretch. So straighten the legs, line the inner feet up. Again, pull the toes back, push the balls of the feet away from you. Make sure your buttocks are moving towards your heels, not towards your shoulders. And then lift the arms up, cross your thumbs, and stretch the arms back. Now imagine that someone is standing by your feet and they're holding your ankles and they're pulling your feet towards them, away from your face. And someone is standing by your hands and they're holding your wrists and they're pulling your wrists away from you, away from the crown of the head, so you're being stretched. And then bring the arms back up, change the cross of the thumbs, and re-stretch the arms back. Reimagine there's people at either end of you pulling and lengthening you on this yoga stretching rack. Now press your right heel down firmly and feel the right heel connecting to the right buttock, the right buttock going towards the right heel. And then do the same with the left. Press the left heel down and feel the left buttock going to the left heel. In this way, making sure that the buttocks and the sacrum are going towards the heels as you stretch the arms away. And then bringing the arms back up and releasing the arms to the side. Keep the legs nice and firm. Bend that right leg, take your strap again, coming for a full Supta Phalangusthasana. The arms sliding back, the backs of the hands on the floor. Make sure your left leg, the one on the floor, doesn't forget itself. Roll that thigh in, keep pressing the left heel down, keep connecting the left buttock to the left heel. Your eyes can see the right leg, so they can see if the knee is a little bit bent, if the foot is a little bit asleep. Correct things that need correcting so that there's as much alertness as possible. And of course, the curve of both of your quadriceps ironing towards the thigh bone. So flattening the curve of the quadriceps. Bring that leg as close as you can for the last few breath cycles. And then releasing the leg. Releasing the foot. Extend that leg. Join the inner feet. Make the heels firm. And now bend the left knee. And finally, Supta Phalangusthasana on the left-hand side. So make sure that right heel on the floor is pressing and drawing the right buttock towards it. And then looking at your left foot, activate it. Looking at your left leg, activate it. Both thighs ironing to the thigh bones, the muscles wrapping around the bones like a wetsuit. And stretch the arms. And stretch the waist. And of course, if you can, bringing the leg closer without losing any integrity. And then bring the leg back up. And now releasing. Long vertical stretch, so line the feet up. Heels pressing down. Buttocks and thus the sacrum going towards the heels. Lift the arms up, cross the thumbs. Activate the hands, the fingers, spread them, stretch the arms back. Pull the hands away from the feet and the feet away from the hands, and make sure you're not overarching the lower back as you do this. So really feeling the waist lengthen, the armpits open. Feeling the ribs come off the lungs. No constriction, but a sense of freedom and broadness coming. And now bring the arms back up and change the cross of the thumbs. Re-stretch those arms. And now lift your right heel just a few centimeters off the floor and extend the foot even further away, more length. And then press the right heel down and pull the right buttock towards it. And now do the same with the left. Lift the left foot up a few centimetres. Extend the foot even further away, get more length. Press the heel down and pull the left buttock down towards it. That's it, then re-stretch the arms. So your full maximal vertical stretch. Breathing here, expanding into that. And then bring your arms back up, taking your strap and bending the knees, placing both feet in the strap, 90 degrees, Urdhva Prasarita Padasana. Arms sliding back, making an L shape. Now don't let the elbows bend. Really stretch the arms and stretch the waist. Push the front thighs to the bone, away from you. Try to keep the legs at perpendicular. If you're very flexible, there'll be a tendency to diagonalize the legs without realizing it. I do it all the time. So you want to kind of push the front thighs back. And if you're stiffer, then your legs are going to be going away, and you want to use the strap to try to hoist them up. So we're all meeting at this 90-degree angle. The legs perpendicular to the earth. Pull those toes back, push up through the balls of the feet. And wrap the muscles tightly around the legs. Never just a stretch, but always contraction and then stretch. Strength and stretch. Breathing here. And now bending the knees, and we can move the strap. Keep those inner feet lined up, those inner knees lined up, coming to Dvipada Supta Bhavanuttasana. A very long name for this pose. The important thing is to not let the lower back round up like this. See how here there's a space? This is the incorrect action. So unfurl so that the lower spine is on the ground, and start instead to get the opening from the front groin deepening, the front groin softening. And in this way, as the front groin softens, the legs gently, millimetre by millimetre, coming closer. And then undo the interlock of the fingers and bring the feet to the floor. Okay, we're rolling over and pushing ourselves up. And it's now time for a Vajrasana. So you need 2 straps, 2 blankets, and knee back here on the mat. All right, so 1 blanket, this one, is just for comfort. Our knees and our shins will be on this. So if you have an extra thick mat, you might not even need that one. And this other blanket, we're going to be placing it behind our knees, calves and thighs once we're in the pose. So now we have our 2 straps, and we're taking a kneeling position already. So this is Vajrasana, but we're going to do it with the straps on our legs to get a really different experience than when we're just doing it without, you'll see. All right, so first strap, on and over. The strap going behind the knees and tightening that buckle up. And of course, keeping the buckle in the front so that it's not digging into the flesh. And then we have our second strap, and this is what I call the torture strap. It goes around our ankles. So make it a little wider already. You may need to bring your forehead to the floor or not if you're used to this, and just to put your feet through. And then tighten up with a buckle between the heels. And you want to go as tight as you can. Of course, this is going to depend on the state of your feet, your front feet, your ankles. So you're going to sit back and feel that. And for some people, it's really agony, so then you want to undo a little bit. You want to have just the right amount of pain, but not complete torture, okay? And then this blanket, unfolding it, and this edge, the neat edge, not the fringe edge, is going to go behind the knees, right in, wiggle it right in, you're making space behind the knees there. And then you are sitting back on that. Now, if you're feeling a little pressure in the knees, you can reach with your hands and just pull the skin of the front kneecaps up. And often just that little pulling up of the skin makes a whole lot of difference. Or you can get more blankets to sit on, to put between your calves and your thighs, getting a little height and reducing the pressure a little bit. So once you're in Vajrasana, let's come to Parvatasana Vajrasana. So the arms in front, interlock the fingers, turn those palms out, make sure the tips of your thumbs are touching, the elbows are straight, and then go ahead and inhale and lift the arms up, pressing the hands to the heavens, and pressing the thighs to the center of the earth. Each inhale lifts you more and more, and each inhale also brings more broadness to the side ribs, broadness to the rib cage. So see if you can really feel that with each inhale. And then bring the arms halfway down. Release the hands and change the interlock. So the other little pinky goes underneath. Turn the palms out, thumbs touching, elbows straight. And once again, lifting up for the other side. Now, those of us who have a tendency to overarch the lower spine need to be careful that we're not doing that. So we just do a lot of vertical stretches to help connect and to help bring a sense of grounding to the spine. Just try to replicate that action where you're lifting the pubic bone up and you're moving the lumbar back, not allowing the arch to happen, moving it back and using the arms to lift up and stretch the waist and broaden the rib cage. And then bring the arms back down and release completely. And be in Vajrasana. Elbows back. Front chest open. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Alright, we're now coming forward and bringing the forehead to the ground. The arms by the side of the body. And now bring the hands behind you, interlock the fingers again together, and straighten the arms, lift the arms up. And feel how the front shoulders are being opened now. The shoulder blades also. So obviously if you're tight in your shoulders, the arms won't be able to lift up as high. Relax the jaw completely. The shoulders are so linked to the jaw and to the face, to the neck. They're a very hard area to open. Just keep the breath as steady and smooth as possible. And slowly allow it to penetrate. The openings will come with time. And now bring the arms halfway down. Change the interlock of those fingers. And yeah, we'll bring the arms up again by rolling the front shoulders open. And even as we bring the arms over, we're still trying to bring the hands higher towards the sky. And this ensures that we're not letting our front shoulders drop to the ground and close. So staying in touch with that. And then bring the arms back down towards the ground, releasing the hands and resting completely. And then rolling ourselves back up. We're almost out of this now. I just want to move the blankets a bit so you can see my hands. Hands to the floor. Push into your hands and lift the knees up and be on the tops of the feet. Stretching the tops of those feet as much as you can. And then coming out, removing this blanket. Removing the torture strap around the heels, loosening this strap, and just let it slide out and come and be in crouching pose. If the heels are lifted up high off the blanket, you can take this other blanket and put it under your heels, and then your heels will have something to press into. And as you're in crouching pose and as you're breathing, send the exhale to the front groins right here and try to deepen them towards the ground. So deepening the front groins, just like we were doing in our Dvipa Supta Paramuktasana when we were lying on our back. And then coming forward and out of that, move the straps out to the side and coming straight into Virasana. So knees together and feet slightly apart. Pull the calves back and then out. And take a seat between the feet. Check that you're on the tops of the feet as much as possible and pull those feet in. And now, a strap. Around the legs. There we go, buckle in the middle, tighten up. Now with your hands, pull your buttocks back and out to the side, away from each other. So you're really broadening the anal mouth and you're sitting on the inner sit bones. And from there the spine can be really straight, fountaining upwards. Now bring the arms in front again, Padapattasana, interlock the fingers, turn the palms out, and lift those arms up. As you lift the arms up, try not to hunch your shoulders up to your ears. Try to instead move the trapezius muscles down as the arms lift, really clearing space in the sides of the neck. And then bring the arms down and changing the interlock, turning the palms out and inhaling, lifting up. Try to move the arms back behind the ears, and remember as you're pushing the hands up to the sky, move the trapezius muscles down the back. So there's an opposite direction, up and down. And then bring the arms back down and releasing. One last little shoulder opener. If you're feeling sensitive in the knees, remember you can pull the skin of the front kneecaps up, and this really does bring a lovely little sense of relief. All right, so last shoulder opener. We need our other strap. We might not need it, but have it just in case. And make a loop. If you know you're very stiff in your shoulders, have a bigger loop. And if you're not so stiff, have a smaller loop. Hold the loop in your right hand. Bring the right hand to the shoulder and make sure that this loop is hanging back, down your back. And then move your hand to the middle spine. Then bring the left arm out to the side and bring it in front so you can see it. Inhale and exhale. Bend the arm back and reach for the hand. And if you can't reach the hand, you've got the loop to grab onto. So everybody's got something to grab. Gomukhasan. Left elbow to the earth, right elbow to the sky. Lengthen the breath. Hurrying the breath is not going to hurry the pose. And remember to really try to feel the broadness of the ribcage with each of your inhales. And then releasing and extending that right arm out and letting go to change sides. You can already have the strap behind you. The left hand holds the loop. Bring the hand to the shoulder and adjust, and then move that left hand to the middle of the spine. Extend the right arm out with your exhale. So inhale, exhale. Bend that arm, bend the elbow, reach for the strap, and try to hold the hand. You always have one side that's different than the other. Very normal. Just doing the best that we can with each side. And once you've found your hold, lengthen and deepen the breath again. And then releasing our grip and extending the left arm out. And hands to the thighs, elbows back, chest open. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. And now let's widen our knees apart just a little bit. So releasing our strap enough to widen the knees apart a little bit. Coming to a Yoga Mudrasan in Virasana. So we really need to deepen and soften these front groins. As we come forward, the front groins are going back. They're deepening, the arms stretching forward. Head down. Breathing here. And then coming back up, walking the hands in and releasing. Taking the strap off. Now we're going to release the legs one leg at a time. So right leg first. And now bend and extend a few times, nice and gently. That's bend and extend. Foot to the floor, and now the left side coming out. And again, nice and slowly bend and extend, bend and extend. One more time, bend and extend and releasing. Back down. So we can feel this work. Right, we're going to come to some full body stretches now, some Adho Mukha Svanasans interspersed with stuff, fun stuff. So let's move our blankets and our straps out of the way and come back onto a nice clean mat. Alright, this is going to feel so good. So Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog, and we're really going to squeeze and rinse the knees out. So line the knees up with the hands, spread the fingers widely, and when you're ready, exhaling back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, making sure to keep the heels really lifted very high, extraordinarily high, not just kind of semi-high, but all the way high, and then lift the buttocks all the way high. Push yourselves away from your hands, and release the back of the neck. Often just the littlest bit of tension is being held at the back of the head. So make sure your chin is coming towards the throat, and you're going to feel a new length in the back of the neck. Now squeeze the knees. Squeeze the inner knees to the outer knees. Squeeze the outer knees to the inner knees. Squeeze the front knees to the back knees. And squeeze the back knees to the front knees, a whole new awareness of the knee joint, becoming tight, squeezed. And now let's step our right leg forward, finding Uttanasana. So make sure to have a nice distance between the feet, don't be too short. Press your back heel to the mat and feel the calf lengthening. And then with an exhale, straighten the front leg completely. Lower the head down. You can see your front kneecap. Grip it up. You can see your front quadricep. Grip it up. Don't let it fall off the bone towards the knee. Grip everything up so you're pulling the head of the femur bone into that front hip socket. See if your hands can walk forward a little bit. And find a smooth and even breath here. Amidst all the pain of opening up the backs of the legs, let that breath be smooth and unruffled. And then lifting the head up, the hands coming back, and we're changing sides. So left leg forward and right leg back. Now lower the head, look at your back foot and press the heel down. Let the calf stretch open completely. And then inhale, and with an exhale, straighten the front legs completely. You can see your front kneecap, grip it up with the front quadriceps. And look at the shape of your quadriceps, make sure they're gripping up. You should see the muscle working, gripping up. And then within that grippiness, within that straightness, see if the hands can move forward so that the waists can be long. Maintaining an inner and outer connection with all of those different points. And then bringing that smoothness of breath. And then looking up, bending the front knee, placing the hands on the mat, stepping back to Adho Mukha Svanasana with our heels extraordinarily lifted again. So check your feet and lift those heels higher. Squeeze the knees. Press the front thighs back. And lift the buttocks even higher. Think of the shape you're making, the triangle you're making. The buttocks being the top tip of the triangle. And feel that tip lifting towards the sky. The buttocks like balloons, lifting up, a lightness coming to them. And then the chin, of course, towards the throat so that no last little tensions are being held in the neck and the head. Breathing here. And then looking up slightly and walking the feet forward so that the feet are the width of the mat and the feet are completely parallel. Lower the head down, lower the trunk down. See your knees, pull the thighs up. And then hold onto your elbows with your hands and pull your elbows down. Hanging Uttanasana, again watching the breath, quieting the face. As the quadriceps are gripping up, feel the thighs rolling in towards each other, so that the inner groins are rolling backwards to the wall behind you, the anal mouth opening, the buttocks spreading. And now release your elbows, hands to the floor, and just bending the knees. Come down, and lie on your backs. No strap. Lift the right foot up, hold the inner foot, the outer foot. Be with your breath. It's really important to extend the leg with the exhale. So inhale, and exhale. And again, bend the knee, inhale. And exhale, pull the toes back. Third and final time, bend the knees, inhale. And exhale with your hands, with your thumbs, pull the toes back. That's it, really stretch the calf out. And then lift the head up to the shin. And then head back down, bending the knee and foot to the mat. Changing sides, holding the inner foot, the outer foot. Be with the breath to time the movement with the breath. Ready? Inhale. And exhale, straighten that leg. And then bend the knee again. Inhale. And exhale, straighten the leg again. Pull the toes down. Push through the ball of the foot. Last time, bend the knee, inhale, and exhale, straighten that leg and really pull the toes down to intensify the opening at the back of the leg. That's it, breathe through it. And then lift the head up. And exhale, and releasing, and foot to the floor. One last Vipada Supta Pavanamuktasana. Line your feet up, line the knees up, interlock those fingers. And use the exhale to help the front groins to deepen, to soften. And now releasing the feet to the floor. And it is now time for Sadvangasana. So rolling, pushing ourselves up. Okay, so if you're not doing Sadvangasana, but you still want to do an inversion, you could do Viparita Karani with the legs up against the wall. So that would be an easy version, but still getting the inversion. And if you're not doing inversions today, well, you could just wind this practice down through a Shavasana. But I am going to go grab my blankets, my straps to do Halasana, Ekapada Savangasana, quick Savangasana, and then our Shavasana. So if you're joining me, go ahead and grab all the blankets you need, 3, 4, 5, and anything else you need for your Savangasana, including a strap. And let's meet back on the mat. So I'm using lots of blankets today because everything is feeling tight. My legs are tight from a lot of hiking. My shoulders are tight from carrying a heavy backpack. So I'm taking all the support that I can to help my shoulders to open. So height, and then a strap and the loop of our strap from one shoulder to the other. And if you know you're very tight, you make it a little bit bigger, but you don't want to go too much smaller than that. All right, coming in. Sadvangasana is generally the sign of the end of the practice, so it was kind of really nice. But the thing about that is that they can also make us a little bit lazy because we think, oh, it's almost the end, and we start to relax too much. So keep the awareness of alignment and integrity of sharpness in the poses. All right, bringing the legs up and over, and the hands into the loop. Stretching the arms, roll those shoulders back. And then interlock the fingers and re-stretch the arms straight. And again, lift each shoulder up. And when you lift it up, roll the shoulder, the front shoulder open, like you did in your shoulder openers in Vajrasana. So the front shoulders are moving back towards the hands, not coming up towards the ears. Straighten the legs completely, being here in Halasana. The arms pressing down, and the back ribs, the ribs on the back body, pressing in and up. Keep squeezing the knees and pushing the curve of the quadriceps to the thigh bones. Right, let's change the cross of the arms, the fingers. So changing the cross of the fingers, so the other little pinky is underneath. And then again, roll each shoulder back. And try to stretch the hands further away so that the front shoulders are rolling back, the collarbones are lengthening. And push into the feet and activate the legs. Halasana. Smooth the breath out, relax the pace. Now we're going to release the interlock of our fingers in order to put the hands on our back. And now we're going to lift our left leg up to the sky. Right foot stays where it is. Ekapada Sarvangasana. Now you can see that left foot. Pull the toes down. Push the ball of the foot up. And squeeze the knee completely. And the curve of the front thigh to the thigh bone. And then lower the left leg back down, changing sides, lifting the right leg up, trying to keep the left toes on the ground if possible. If not, of course, the foot lifting up. Looking at that right foot and pulling the toes back and pushing up through the ball of the foot. Roll that right thigh in and squeeze the knee completely straight. Quadriceps to the thigh bone. Chin to the chest, chest to the chin. Deepen the breath, slow it down. Ekapada Sarvangasana. Now preparing to lift that left leg up to join the right leg, finding in this way Sarvangasana. Look at your feet and adjust them as needed. Squeeze those knees and move the buttocks towards the heels, like in our long vertical stretches. Don't let the front shoulders hunch up. Keep moving them down towards the ground. And now bring the legs back to the ground behind you. You can take the strap off your arms. And we're gently unrolling from our Savagata. And immediately moving ourselves backwards. So that only the hips, the sacrum and the blankets. And feet the width of the mat, turn the toes in, the heels out, and the knees rest. So just as we started class, except that we're now on the support of a blanket. So we're in a naturally restorative Siddha Bandha Savasana. And then lift each shoulder up and roll the front shoulders back. So you get this expanded opening of the lungs, the chest, the heart. Chin towards the throat. Now count the length of the inhale. Count the length of the exhale. Establish a really pure Ujjayi one breath. The eyes closed. And now we're going to move ourselves completely backwards so that we are on the floor with our hips and just extend the arms. One last final twist. So bending those knees in, we're going to bring the knees to the left so that we're twisting to the right. So exhale the knees all the way up to the left elbow, nice and high. And then inhale and exhale from the belly button, twisting, turning to the right. Enjoying this beautiful Jatara Parivartanasana. Each exhale, twisting more and more, unwinding. And then the legs back up. Our last and final bit. Ready? Inhale. Exhale the knees to the right elbow. And then inhale. And exhale, turn and twist from the navel to the left. And then bring those legs back up. And at the moment, we may have been waiting for at this point. It's time for Shavasana. So I'm going to take one blanket off the top of this pile here for my neck and head. And another blanket is going to cover my eyes and my ears. So just having that there. And then I'm going to take the rest of the blankets and put them on my thighs. Because the weight on your thighs really just penetrates into the musculature and just helps it relax in a new way. So just check that your feet feel free and that the legs feel evenly spread. So the belly button being the centre of the body, the legs evenly spread from that. And then similarly the shoulders rolling back, and when your arms extend they will be evenly spread, not touching the trunk and not in line with the shoulders either, diagonal and even. But first I'm going to take this blanket, well actually I'm going to take my glasses off, and then this blanket over the eyes and muffling all sound over the ears. Make sure that if you do this, it's lifted up enough that it's not pulling the skin of the forehead back, which will just create tension. You want to have freedom, it's really lifting up and covering, but not pulling anything back. And then we can extend the arms back out. A little wiggling around just to be sure that the back body feels even, feels relaxed, feels that letting go-ness. And then with an exhale, surrendering completely to the bliss of Shavasana. And now gently lifting the hands and bringing them to rest on the abdomen, on the hip bones, on the pubic bone area. And then rolling over onto the right hand side, nice and gently, and taking the fetal position. And then using the hands to emerge, pushing yourselves back up. The eyes can open. That was quite a shavasana for me. I hope that you stayed the length of it and also felt that same beautiful shavasanic experience. So this might be a really good time, if you have the time, to meditate for a little bit, just 5-10 minutes. Sitting on your blankets for some height, nice and straight, and just enjoying that state of watching this, watching everything, feeling everything, hearing everything, from that beautiful distance, resting in that. And if not, then welcome back to your day, to your evening, to your morning, to wherever you are. And I hope that this practice infuses the rest of the day, the rest of the week with that quality that only a practice can bring to our life. Let me know how it was for you. I always love to hear from you. Be well and hope to see you soon.